Okay, so today we're going to do some circles and triangles and learn a bit more about being constrained in Fusion 360. So this is the default view, and we're going to create a sketch. So we'll hit Create Sketch. We'll choose the XY plane, this one on the right, and now we're ready to start sketching. So if we create a rectangle, we go up here. Two-point rectangle is the default kind of rectangle, and so it creates a rectangle using 2 points. If you look at this rectangle, all 4 sides are blue, and that means that I can select any side or any point, and I can change its shape if I want to. All I have to do is just grab it and move, and I can make that change its size or shape. Let's do the same 2-point rectangle, but now I'm going to click on the origin, and I click here. Now we'll notice that 2 of the sides are black all the time, whether my mouse is over the top of it or not. These 2 sides are always black. And if I try and select something, I can grab this and make it taller, but I can't make that side move off of that line. And that was because I used the origin, which is a special location. It helps, it's a reference point, and will lock that shape down. I can grab this corner and make it bigger and smaller, but these 2 sides will not move off of the green and red axes because I built that rectangle from the origin, and so Fusion recognizes that as a special location. If I want to specify the size of these rectangles, I can do that. I can use what's called sketch dimensions. So I'm going to click on this side, and let's set it to 35. And you'll notice that 3 of the sides are now locked. That means that this side is not, and it can move. So if I want to lock that side down, I have to set the dimension that will stop that one from moving, which is the length of the top or the bottom. So last time I measured this, I just clicked on the side and it did it. I'm going to click on the top and bottom, and when I do that, or not what I want to do, I'm sorry, I don't want to click on top and bottom. I want to click on the left and right because I want to set the dimensions of the top. And we'll make that 40. Now you notice that this rectangle is got black edges on it, no matter if my mouse is over it or not. And that means it is fully constrained, cannot move, cannot be resized, or anything like that. That's a good state for our shapes to be in. It means that that they won't be accidentally changed. Whereas this rectangle over here is a problem. This rectangle can be moved and resized, and so all you have to do is just grab pieces and you can move it around. All right, so let's make some other shapes and learn how they connect with each other and how we can make them constrained and not. So let's go with a triangle. So we're going to make a triangle, and I want to make an equilateral triangle. So let's move this aside. So I'm gonna go onto this axis. You'll see that it snaps right there. So I'm gonna click that, and I want the length of this triangle to be how much did I do it in this sketch? I think I did a 40 unit. Yep, a 40 unit triangle. So we'll do 40 units. All right, if I hit enter, that means I'm done. I don't want to hit enter. I'm going to left click and keep drawing. All right, the next angle inside is going to be 40 units. So I'll do 40 units, tab, 60 degrees, because that's what an equilateral triangle has. Left click, and then I will click on that last corner. Let's move our dimensions to make things a little more readable. So when we look at this triangle now, it's all blue. But when I mouse over it, it turns black. So is it constrained or not? And the answer is it's not, because it would be black when I don't mouse over it. So if I left click, I can grab this corner and move this triangle around if I want. Now I can't make it bigger or smaller, but I can move it. And that means that there is a part of it that is unconstrained and therefore cannot, it can be moved. If you want to try and constrain this triangle, you'll have to constrain it by forcing some distances. So we could do a sketch dimension, and we could say from here to here is 60 units. All right, it's still not constrained. So that means we need more dimensions to be fixed. Let's try this. How about from here to here, and let's do, I want a vertical distance. Let's not do, well, we can do it like this. We'll do this. I think we could do this distance. And let's call that, what if we do it 70 units? Do you see how it moved it down a little bit to make room for the 70? It's still 60 units across, but now this angled side is 70. And you'll notice that the triangle is now black. And that's because I can't move it anymore without affecting these two distances, which are locked. So this shows you how to lock sketches in. You do it by setting dimensions that force them to be in one spot where there's no way to move it without forcing those to be something else. All right, so that teaches you a little bit more about being constrained. So now let's play with our triangle here. I'm going to delete these dimensions. So now this triangle can be changed all over the place. And we're going to play some circles. All right, so let's create a circle. When we look, we can see that there's all kinds of circles. The default circle is a circle with a center point and some distance. All right, that's a center point circle because you start at the center and then click on the edge, and then it defines how big it is. Let's say I want to make a circle that goes through all 3 points of the triangle. So to do that, I can't just do a center point circle because the center point would be somewhere in here and I don't know where that's at. Even with these little guides and things that they're giving me, that's not the actual center of the triangle. I need the geometric center. And I'd have to construct it with other lines or something if I wanted to try and use a center point circle. So if we go to create, we can see not only are there different ways to create rectangles, 3-point rectangle, center rectangle, but there are different ways to create circles. And one of them you see is a 3-point circle. Now I'm going to show you why a 2-point is not enough, even though it looks like it might be enough. So if I click a 2-point circle and I click that point and this point, you see that doesn't get this circle to attach to the top of the triangle. So that is not enough to get us to where the circle hits all 3 points. So we will have to create a 3-point circle. And then I define and click on all 3 of those points. And now I have a circle that is connected to all 3 of those points. You'll notice that that circle is not constrained. Even though it's not constrained, it is attached to that triangle, and I can't help but have it attached to the triangle because that's how I made it. So there's no way to take that circle off of the triangle if I want to without deleting the circle. Next, what if I want a circle on the inside of the triangle? If we look at our options, we have a circle, we have a 2-tangent circle, and a 3-tangent. Well, I could try and do a 2-tangent circle and click 2 sides of the triangle. But is it enough to just get close? Like, what if I put it and it looks like it's right on that side? If I do that, that looks pretty good. Now you'll notice I get these little icons. These icons mean that this circle is tangent to that side and it's tangent to that side. Those are geometry phrases for meaning touching at only one point. And it looks like it's tangent there, but is it really? If I select and move, I can see immediately that it is not connected, and that does not work. So a 2-point circle or 2 tangent circle is not enough to keep it attached to my triangle. So if I go here and create a 3 tangent circle, now I can go here, here, and here, and now you see the 3 constraints show up, and if I grab a point and move this triangle, both circles stay attached to their points and sides of the triangle no matter what I do. So then that maybe that's important for some reason because of the shape of the thing I'm trying to create. For right now, we're just playing around. But so yeah, that's how you constrain objects by having them touch each other by creation, depending on how you create them. Just realize that what's up on this bar is not everything that you have. There's this drop list. There's 3 ways to create rectangles, 5 ways to create circles. We can create arcs and polygons and all kinds of things, and we'll explore those later as we continue with our exercises.